right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
The sun returns tomorrow, but the end of the week does require a wardrobe adjustment before heading outdoors Friday morning.
He was sexually abused by a priest as a boy and received a settlement of $1 million from the Archdiocese of St. Louis.
I want my childhood back.
Tonight he's coming forward in hopes of helping others. Our top story, paying more for sewer service. Tonight, MSD and its customers weigh in if a proposed rate hike will be money well spent or money down the drain.
Good evening. I'm Mike Bush, and Allred has the night off. Just hours ago, the Metropolitan Sewer District Board of Trustees approved raising your rates. But it's not a done deal just yet. Our Robert Townsend joins us live from MSD's headquarters downtown with how you'll have the final decision on when, not if, your bill will go up. Robert.
Mike, all summer long, you'll remember MSD asked for the public's feedback on this extremely controversial issue. And tonight, opponents were loud and clear. One by one, customers and others share their many concerns with the Board of Trustees for the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District.
Please ask that you consider the consumer.
To continue to bill unmetered residents utilizing an inferior system is not illustrating responsibility.
During her allotted 5 minutes to speak, a fiery Elaine Laura repeatedly pleaded to the Utilities Board to not increase sewer rates.
We are not being charged for the water that we actually consume.
Originally, MSD asked for the rate hike in March. It's connected to $1.6 billion for capital improvement projects and infrastructure upgrades to the city's sewer and storm water system. MSD is asking voters to approve $750 million in debt funding.
And see, is there really any evidence of what the burden is on the customer classes?
Under the proposed rate hike, there would be an average household increase from $57 to $75 a month by 2027. If voters don't approve the proposal, then the average bill could be as high as $104 in 2026 before steadily declining over the next several years. In the end, the board voted 5-1 and approved the rate hike.
Well, it's necessary because MSD has got 20 plus years of identified projects with identified timeframes and schedules. We have to get things done.
MSD does not value its customers.
Again, the rate hike is not official just yet. Voters will still have their say in April. We're live downtown. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
A much chillier night across St. Louis. It feels more like November after yesterday's record warmth. Temperatures will fall into the 30s overnight. Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here to tell us what you can expect for your Friday. Scott?
Well, Friday looks like it'll be a lot brighter for us around St. Louis, but it is November and we're supposed to be a little bit cooler after yesterday's record high of 84 degrees in St. Louis. About 30 degrees cooler today in the metro area, certainly during the afternoon hours. Things are rolling along out at Lambert, so this weather has been quiet enough to allow the flights in and out of Lambert to be pretty much on time for most of the day. You can see the rain. It's all to our south and southeast. We're still holding around 50 degrees right now. The clearing line's back towards Kansas City. Even though there's rain on the radar, much of what we're seeing across southeast Missouri and far southern Illinois is up in the clouds and literally drying before it hits the ground. And so as a consequence, most of us are staying dry tonight. We have more normal November temperatures on the way. No significant rain in sight here over the next several days. And there's also no frigid air in sight, but we know that can change. In about 12 minutes, we'll be looking at the winter weather outlook from your Weather First team. Mike?
All right, Scott. Developing right now, a girl is recovering tonight after a drive-by shooting at a Jennings home. The shooting happened about 90 minutes ago on Orchard Avenue. We're told the juvenile girl suffered a graze wound. Police are still looking for the car that fired those shots. Also developing tonight, police investigating a homicide at a Metro East hotel. A woman was found dead at the Super 8 Hotel in Fairview Heights. That's on Ludwig Drive off I-64 and North Illinois Street. Police say they have a suspect in custody, but they have not yet released any other details. Tonight, a St. Louis native abused by a Catholic priest is sharing his story for the first time. He's doing it in hopes of preventing it from happening to others. Advocates who work with childhood victims are also speaking out, urging adults to listen when kids speak. Our Brent Solomon is live from the Cathedral Basilica in St. Louis tonight. Brent?
I just want my life back. Those words from a man who is now recounting his traumatic experience when a priest abused him several times. Tonight, the Archdiocese of St. Louis is responding, as well as that victim turned survivor who's now making a passionate plea.
The man once known as John Doe in court documents now identified. And it's clear this isn't easy.
All right.
Full of emotion.
Here we go.
Jonathan Dean speaking before reporters Thursday.
Having been raped as a child has left a darkness in my soul that I cannot shake and cannot leave behind.
He says it happened here at the Ascension Parish in Chesterfield 4 different times back in 1993.
I want my childhood back. I want my life back that I would have had I not been raped as a 10-year-old.
Over the summer, he reached a $1 million settlement with the Archdiocese of St. Louis. He says his abuser was Father Gary Paul Wolken, who has since been defrocked by the Vatican. In 2002, the same man convicted of abusing a different boy back in 1997. He served 15 years in prison. This is the first time Dean is speaking about his case.
So we know that victims in general typically have a delayed disclosure or wait years to tell about their victimization, but those barriers are even stronger for our male victims. A lot of that comes from just social stigmas. It comes from the thought that they should have fought back or should have resisted, and a lot of times their sexuality is questioned from the mere fact that they were a victim. So those barriers play huge into deciding whether they choose to come forward as a victim.
Now, Dean is using his voice to call on change.
The Missouri legislature should remove all statutes of limitation for claims of childhood sexual assault. These cases need to reach trials, not be continually dismissed on legal technicalities.
The Archdiocese of St. Louis says it takes every accusation of sexual abuse with utmost seriousness. It goes on to say, quote, despite the absence of criminal charges and other mitigating factors, it was the Archdiocese which proposed a settlement process with an experienced mediator through which a mutual agreement between Mr. Dean and the Archdiocese of St. Louis was reached. They also say even if a victim doesn't file a lawsuit, that person could still be eligible for assistance from the Catholic Church. You can read their entire statement right now on KSDK.com. Mike.
Brent, thanks. We're now learning a love triangle may have led to a deadly shooting in South St. Louis. This is Eric Seitz. He is charged with the murder of Dennis Beeg. The 44-year-old was found shot near River de Pere Park Tuesday afternoon. According to court documents, Beeg's wife admitted to investigators that she was involved with Seitz. A witness told them Seitz shot Beeg in the back as he walked away. A grand jury has indicted a former St. Louis County officer accused of firing shots at a school trunk or treat event. Matthew McCullough faces more than a dozen charges. According to court documents, he yelled, "You're all going to die," before firing dozens of shots in the air at last month's event at North Kirkwood Middle School. A group of people tackled him and took away his gun. He later resigned from the police department. Well, Saturday is Veterans Day, and tonight we're taking a look at how the state taxes on marijuana are going right back into the community to help vets. New tonight, our Laura Barczewski talked with the Missouri Veterans Commission about where that money is going. Laura.
Mike, the Missouri Department of Health says to date, roughly $27 million of tax money generated from marijuana sales has been allocated to the Missouri Veterans Commission. That money helps them care for thousands of veterans across the state.
Missouri Veterans Commission Executive Director Paul Kirchhoff says he's served in the Army for 33 years and truly understands how important veteran services are.
For me, this is continuing that service that dedication to our nation, to our state and nation, and to those that I served with.
This year, the commission received $13 million from medical marijuana taxes. Kirchhoff says the commission oversees 5 veteran cemeteries, has officers across the state who help connect veterans to services, and cares for elderly veterans.
We'll use the funding that we receive from both the medical and the adult use to keep our homes, the 7 veterans homes that we have throughout the state. It'll help with their operations. So it goes directly into maintaining our existing operations within those facilities.
Mint Dispensary in St. Peters is also helping veterans out on the other side of the transaction with a discount offered every day on products they say have changed the lives of local veterans.
We do 22% off just to bring awareness, especially you lose 22 veterans a day from post-traumatic stress disorder. So we decided to shine light on that the best we can and give our thanks and our gratitude for all the veterans.
There's things that the military wore out.
We ran into Navy veteran Mike Rome at the dispensary. He says cannabis products make a difference for his shoulder pain.
I mean, it does definitely kill the pain, you know. Ever since opiate epidemic, you know, it's not worth even trying to get pain pills anymore, you know. So this is a good alternative.
Money is also starting to come in from the recreational side of things. The Veterans Commission, Public Defender's Office, and the Department of Health all received roughly $1.3 million this year.